Hello, Miami. This is 05 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will, and of course, I'm gonna join the fray. All right, I gotta talk what everybody's talking about. That's the transfer portal, right? The transfer portal just opened up December 4th. We knew it was gonna go in there. All right, there's been some new announcements, but the transfer portal opens up December 4th, and it has been absolutely insane. And with what has been absolutely insane with the quarterback position, all right, a lot of teams out there, both good and both teams trying to build programs, are looking for quarterback signal callers that can help change the dynamic of their collegiate football team. And the Miami Hurricanes are no stranger to that mix as they're trying to once again build their program through the quarterback position. But here's some names, all right, that have entered the transfer portal and are quarterbacks. You have Brock Vandagriff over from Georgia. Of course, you all know Tyler Van Dyke, former Miami Hurricanes quarterback. Dylan Gabriel over at Oklahoma. Max Brown from Florida. Tanner Bailey over from South Carolina. DJ Ugalele over at Oregon State. Kyle McCord from Ohio State. Okay, Will Howard also from Kansas State as well. So what I'm going to do this episode is I'm just going to talk about my main three guys that I think my main favorites. Okay, I like it is a very good transfer portal to try to get quarterbacks. Okay, a lot of the quarterbacks that are out there right now are very capable of leading offenses and making their teams very successful, or putting them, maybe not in playoff contention, but at least in contention to win their conference championships and so on. So there's a lot of good quarterbacks out there. Okay, I will say that, to say the least, for this upcoming, transfer portal cycle. But there's three guys. All right, there's three guys that they're my favorites. Okay, they're my favorites within the portal itself that I hope the Canes get 1 out of 3. And I want to talk about each one of 3. I want to start basically from my third to my first. And as you can tell from the thumbnails, you know exactly who I'm going to refer to as far as when picking. But I want to go over first things foremost and talk about number 3. And that is Dante Moore. All right, Dante Moore. Okay, he was one of the most highly coveted quarterbacks coming into who graduated from the 2023 class. He was like top 3 quarterback in the country at the time. UM was after him, Oregon was after him, ends up going to UCLA, wanted to be a part of Chip Kelly's offense. Chip Kelly is fired by UCLA, and hence one of the main reasons why he is entering the transfer portal. His 2023 stats, I do have the graphic up there. I'm going to read all the stats. There'll be some on the graphics, so you guys can all take a look. Okay, his 2023 stats were: he had 213 pass attempts, 114 receptions, 53.5 pass completion percentage, 11 touchdowns with 9 interceptions. Now, this is the one thing I will say about Dante. Obviously, a true freshman being thrown into the fray. Pac-12 was very good this year, all right, but this kid has a lot of upside. And I do want to say this: he'll have 3 years of eligibility. At least you'll be able to get him for at least 2 years if he chooses to stay and not retransfer. But the bottom line is that if for the Miami Hurricanes, I wouldn't even mind if they got 2 quarterbacks in the transfer portal to basically allow, first things foremost, for competition for Emory Williams, possibly Jacory Brown, who knows what he does after the bowl game. All right, Judd Anderson, and later on Luke Nickel, who will be coming in the 2025 class. Okay, but Dante Moore could do for you, especially since he's already stated that he wants to be developed. Okay, his coach gets fired, he transfers. It's very understandable because you went to that school to play a certain offense, and you had certain expectations. A new guy comes in, can totally rearrange the philosophy and so on, and he didn't want to take that risk, so he makes the move. So if he was to go to the Miami Hurricanes, and from my perspective, if you have that seniors, I'd rather have honestly a graduate student, to be honest with you, a graduate transfer. You have that graduate transfer that can help develop the younger guys as well, and also get you over that hump and get you to an ACC championship game. Dante Moore, from what he's spoken about, is willing to be developed and willing to learn. So there's major upside with this kid. Great arm. All right, great arm. Pretty athletic as well. He's not known for like his running, but he can run. Okay, he could get you first downs with his legs. He's not going to kill you with his legs, like like for example, like a Cam Ward or even a Michael Pratt, who's pretty athletic as well. But he is shifty enough to get away from sacks. So that's one thing about him. Great arm, extremely accurate, can make any throw. So this is a good kid, who has a good head on his shoulders and wants, to be great. Okay, so that's one thing that that I do like about Dante. Dante will also be throwing to some very, very talented young wide receivers. Okay, if he decides to come to the Miami Hurricanes, he'll still be able to throw to Jacoby George, possibly Xavier Restrepo. Okay, and he'll also be throwing to guys like Nikar, um, Robbie Washington next season, Ray Joseph, Chance Robinson, JoJo Trader, all very talented receivers as well. So I'm pretty excited. I will be pretty excited if we do get this kid, because this kid could develop to be really, really good and really, really great, and could be really good for your program. So whatever happens, he's my number 3. All right, so Dante Moore is my number 3. If the Kings do get him, I'll be very happy. But I do think if they do get Dante Moore, they should still shop for an older player, that guy that again could lead the young quarterbacks, in the locker room, lead an offense, get you a conference championship, and maybe even further. Number 2 on that list, okay, is no stranger to a lot of you, and that is Will Rogers, right? Will Rogers, the Mississippi State Bulldog, all right, former product of Mike Leach's air raid offense. Will Rogers pretty much has every single passing record in Mississippi State, and he's second in passing in the SEC, a very difficult conference to play in. All right, statistically speaking, he ended his career, right? I'm going to go over his career. He ended his career at Mississippi State with a 69% completion percentage, very solid, 12,315 yards, 94 touchdowns, and 28 interceptions. Why do I like this kid? Again, very familiar with the style that Shannon Dawson would like to run. Comes to that Mike Leach of the air raid offense. Pretty athletic. Okay, he could get away from sacks. He's not a complete statue. So if he has to, pretty much run for first down, he could run for a first down. Again, understands defenses. It's very complicated and difficult to play. And the SEC, putting up those numbers is fantastic. Just shows that he's very much capable of leading an offense. Again, he'll be very familiar with the system that's being run here at Miami. He'll love to throw the receivers here. Okay, he'll love to throw the receivers here. The young receivers come in. He's definitely going to love throwing to them as well. If you can flip Jeremiah Smith, it'll be absolutely insane as well in terms of what we have as weaponry. You'll have pretty much one of the most prolific passers in the history of the SEC with this offense in the second year of Dawson's system. Okay, this could be very, 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 very damaging, when the games come through in the ACC, because they will be a force to reckon with. I'm going to be very honest with you. Looking at the schedule, I don't see why the Miami Hurricanes for the next season, for 2024, cannot get at least 10 wins. I just don't see with the way the schedule is, how they're unable to get to, how they're not going to be able to get 10 wins. Okay, so that's something that I think is very doable. Will Rogers, I was reading just online, the University of Washington, the Huskies are, pretty much pursuing him, right? Penix probably going to the NFL after the season's over. They are pursuing him. So we'll see what happens with Will Rogers. He's my second choice. Again, I like the experience. I like the fact he's a graduate transfer, leader in the locker room, could lead the quarterbacks, the young quarterbacks that are going to be developed by this football, by this head coach, by this coaching staff, all right, as well. So I'm excited if he was to be a Miami Hurricane, okay, and come into the Canes. And my final quarterback, you can tell by the thumbnail who I'm going to go with, and that's everybody's choice, all right? He's the most coveted dual threat quarterback in the transfer portal right now, and that is Cam Ward, right? Cam Ward out of Washington State. Cam Ward is a beast, a flat-out dual threat quarterback. Had a great season, all right? Not compared to his sophomore year. I'm going to get into the sophomore year in a minute. But in this season, 25 touchdown passes. Okay, 25 touchdown passes. Eight rushing touchdowns as well. 7 picks with 3,735 yards passing. Oddly enough, his best season was his sophomore year when he threw for 47 touchdown passes. All right, so unbelievable a turn up for Cam Ward. I mean, it was just an unbelievable showing. All right, for his career as well, he had a great showing. He actually had more touchdown passes and more yards than Will Rogers. So Cam Ward ends his career, all right, ends his career at Washington State. Check this out, guys. All right, check this out. With an overall 64.5% completion percentage, okay, 13,874 yards, 119 touchdowns, and only 30 interceptions. If the Miami Hurricanes are able to get this kid, they are an ACC championship contender, bar none. All right, bar none. With this offensive line, which I still say is the best offensive line in the ACC, sky's the limit. Yeah, I've heard some things about, him, turning the ball over in terms of fumbles and stuff like that. But with this offensive line, he'll have plenty of time, to go through his progressions and be able to deliver the football. Very accurate, dynamite arm, can throw from the pocket, can throw on the run as well. So he's a guy that scares defenses because he can not only beat you with his precision passing, and he can also read defenses as well. He can also beat you with his legs. Last season with Tyler Van Dyke, the only thing defenses really worried about was his arm. All right, they never felt that Tyler Van Dyke was ever a threat to really throw. I'm sorry to really run. Was he shifty? Yeah, he can get away some stuff. We even saw that, in the Boston College game when he was able to avoid, some blitzes and so on, and some, some defensive linemen that were able to, or defensive ends or blitzing linebackers that were able to get past our offensive line. Tyler Van Dyke was able to shift his way out, but this kid will flat out burn you, right? He will burn you, and he will make sure that you pay for it. So he's going to have a spy, which basically will enable him to be much more effective in the passing game as well, because that takes away a potential person in coverage as well. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. All right, short and straight to the point. If you like what you heard, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to 305 Sports Now. I am Will. There are some more episodes coming your way. I am working on some things. I will definitely be making an announcement real soon. God bless. See you soon. Bye-bye. Go Canes. All about the U. Take care, guys.